Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Tobias and in this video I'm gonna show you how to import an IFC file into your Tekla project, as well as how to create a filter function that you can select certain objects in that IFC file so that you may then convert them into native Tekla objects. So let's get started, shall we? And as you can see here, I've just opened up Tekla structures and there's nothing fancy going on as of yet. However, if we go up here to the right, you can see there's a little button here that says reference models. So you press that and you'll get this little helping screen here. Click on add model and it's going to ask you to browse for a file. So let's do that. Now I have prepared an IFC file here for this video and you will probably have received one yourself. So just go ahead and open that one. And then you click add model. Now as you can see, this model is placed somewhere where I perhaps wouldn't like it to be. I would like it to be here at my 0, point, but it's not. So if you're lucky, you might have gotten some coordinates that you can adjust the insertion point for your reference model from. But if you haven't, I have a little tip and trick for you. What you can do is you can use the move linear command. So you get here by right clicking, press move and linear. Then you press your 0, point and a suitable spot on the IFC model that you would like to be the so-called 0, point. Now for me, that would probably be the leftmost column here. But I notice here that it has a radius, and I'm kind of picky about this stuff, so I'm gonna cancel this command. And then I'm gonna go into the edit and points at intersection of two lines, and I'm gonna find two lines here. And there I got a point that's more suitable in my opinion. So now let's go back into move linear. And then press the 0, point. And as you can see here, I'm not actually going to move this. I just wanted to get the X, Y, and Z coordinates. So now, let's interrupt the command and go up here to the left on the menu. Let's go into the project properties and press on base points. It's going to open up this window that lets you create more base points for your various reference models, or your own model for that matter, when you export the model. So we're going to create a new base point, and we're going to insert the values that we got from our little trick. There we go. I'm going to modify, and I'm going to save this new base point. I'm just going to call it new base point. Now, if I go back here to my reference model, and I double click on the file name, so in my case that's just IFC file, it's going to open up some properties for this specific model, or the reference model rather. So I'm going to change the location by from my model origin, there, to the new base point that we just created. And then I'm going to click modify. Now, as you can see here, it placed the leftmost column, or rather the helping point that I created earlier, on my 0, point. So this is perfect. This is where I want to work, right? Now, if I have, this should be the default setting probably, that you have select components. When you click on something here, you're going to pick up the entire model. Let's see, standard, there you go, yeah. So you see here, you're going to pick up the entire model, and that's not quite what we want. So, let's create a filter for this, shall we? First of all, you gotta know what you want to filter out, right? And there's already a bit of a helping point here. So you go back into the reference model, and then you double click and you get this, right? You can see here that you have layers, and depending on how well made your IFC file is, you can actually hide most of the unwanted layers. So in my case, I don't want to see the floor, I don't want to see the walls, I'm just interested in the steel. But let's say that I'm more interested in these specific type of columns. I don't want to pick up all the columns, because you could have a filter that just says columns, but then you would get this concrete column over here as well. And I just want the KKR profiles. So how can I do that? Well, down here to the left, you have a button that's called selection filter. So let's press that. And then you can create a new filter. Let's name it KKR IFC column. Save. Now we're gonna add a row here, and this is gonna be a template row. So now make sure that you have the objects and components filter activated, so you can only pick up these, right, in your model. Now you right click and you press inquire. What this is going to do is this is going to open up the properties of this specific columns, and depending on how well made the IFC file is, you can have various information in here. So what I'm looking for is something that sticks out. So this one right here, pset column common reference. I'm going to copy that. Then I'm going to go into the property. I'm going to paste that in there. Now, something that's important here is that Tekla is not gonna, this is not gonna work for Tekla because this is an external object, and because of that, I'm gonna have to add external and a dot in front of that. So now we're gonna do the condition. Because I don't want to just pick up these exact profiles. I want all of the KKR profiles. I'm not gonna say equal. I'm gonna say it contains, right? And then we're gonna go back into the inquire, and we're gonna set pset column reference KKR. There we go. Then we're gonna save that and we're gonna apply it. Okay. So now when I do this, it should just pick up all the KKR columns, and it does. So you can create some really powerful filters this way. So you could create like a beam filter that only picks up certain types of beams and whatnot, right? So how do I convert this into native Tekla objects then? Well, I go into the Manage tab up here, and there's a little button here that says Convert IFC Objects. So I'm just going to press that. Now Tekla is going to convert this object by itself into native objects. And as you can see here, all of them seem to work kind of fine. Now, in some cases, this is not going to be the case. What I found to be helpful then is that you simply change the conversion status. So when you get these error messages, try to just take convert as extrusion on those objects, and that usually helps. Otherwise, you might have to do some, fixing up on your own. But yeah, so that's really just it, guys. So now if I hide my IFC model, you can see that I got all the KKR columns here. And these are now my own columns. These are actually Tekla structure objects. So if I go into properties here, you can see here that it has a profile. Now this profile was kind of weird, and you can change that as well so that it converts into a proper, column. But it's easier to handle now. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching.